In this video, this is part 1 in the 2-part series, how I make a brine. We're brining this turkey in this bucket, so stay tuned. All right, listen, I'm not gonna over talk it. Listen, we're gonna make a brine, and today's culprit is gonna be a turkey. Now, I don't know, a lot of times, I think we all think that if we just inject our turkeys, it's gonna come out juicy, which it does. I'm not saying it doesn't. But if you never made a brine before and brined your turkey, and then, then smoked it, cooked it, deep fried it, or whatever you do with your turkey after you brine it, if you've never ever done that, this right here is gonna be an eye opener for you, because this comes out just as juicy as if somebody had stuck that needle in the side of it and pumped it full of them fluids. We got a pot. We got black pepper. This right here, we got allspices, kosher salt, and then we got 4 of these. This is that vegetable broth. Listen, then we're gonna put it on the stove. We're gonna heat it up, make sure everything is dissolved, and everything. Then we're gonna pour it into the bucket and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let's get right into it. Okay, staying true to what I told you, just how simple this is. Listen, you pour in 4 of these right here. This is the vegetable broth. Then we're gonna add a half a cup of brown sugar, 1 full cup of kosher salt. I don't know, we just gonna say about half a teaspoon. You know what I mean? I'm heavy with everything anyway. Now for some fresh ground pepper. Now I just stirred up the ingredients in the brine, to get everything to just, mix. And then you want to bring your pot up to a boil. Okay, once your pot, starts to boil, you want to give it a stir. Make sure everything is dissolved. After your brine has boiled and you stirred it to ensure that everything is dissolved in your hot liquid, what I did was I let it cool, and then you want to pour your cool brine into a 1-gallon pitcher, as you see right here. And listen, the reason being, if you pour hot water on anything like on your turkey or something like that, it will start to cook it. So you want that to be, completely chilled. So fill it up, put it in the refrigerator, wait until the next day, and then go from there. Now I'll just put the top on it, put it in the refrigerator. And in the morning, we'll go ahead and pour it into the bucket. Now that it has chilled overnight, we bring it back. Here it is. So I'll put this here. And what we're getting ready to do is we're gonna fill this up, with the brine. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some cold water. Now, after coming out of the refrigerator, I added my gallon of brine to the bucket. And then I went ahead and used that same pitcher and filled it up with ice cold water, 1 gallon, and then I put that in the bucket also. After that, I inserted the turkey. And then if your turkey is hanging out, a little piece of the meat is hanging out over the top of the water, go ahead and just add just a little bit more ice water. Okay, you've seen how I made my brine, and you just watched me go ahead and put the turkey aside the brine. Listen, I'm going to let it set in here. You know what? I like to do anything over 10 hours. 10 hours to 24 hours, I think is perfect. I've never had the luxury of waiting 24 hours because it seemed like, my timing, about 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours just worked perfectly for me. You could taste all the seasonings. And listen, I can tell you this, if you put the allspice berries in here, listen, it smells like, it has that familiar smell, like, it smells like Thanksgiving. But I promise you, it's gonna put so much flavor and juice inside of your turkey. When you go ahead and cut it, it doesn't matter if you're gonna smoke it, if you're gonna deep fry it, or cook it in the oven. You do not need to, hit it with no injection. You can if you're looking for a certain type of flavor. I mean, I'm not telling you do not do that, but listen, if you still want it to be juicy without that process, this right here, after I started doing the brine, this right here for me is the way I'm gonna check out of here. You know what I mean? Brine all day, every day. Okay, now let me show you. I'm going to take I'm going to go ahead and put some napkins over the top of the bucket. And then I'll just put this cutting board just over the top, just to keep any particulars, anything in the air, from dropping in here. Outside of that, let's see, I'm gonna set it down, probably put it in some, area in my house, where it does, it's nice and cool, let it sit up overnight. and I'm gonna go for 10 hours. After that, I'm taking it outside. I'm gonna smoke it on my pellet grill, and then that'll be part 2. And other than that, if you guys have any questions, if you ever brine before, please let me know in the comment section down below, and tell me which do you prefer. Do you like to brine? Do you like to inject? Or do you like to do both? You know what I mean? Let me know. Outside of that, look out for part 2, because we gonna smoke it, baby. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.